वीडियो ऑन।
Good afternoon.
हाँ,
I welcome you all once again to the
eighth session and last session of the day of this ongoing faculty development program on novel materials. And this session is little bit away from novel materials, but the topic is novel indeed. And this session will be chaired by Professor Debojyoti Bhattacharjee, the senior-most professor of our department. So may I request Professor Bhattacharjee to kindly chair the session and take over the charge. Sir, please.
Okay, thank you, Asad. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now, this is the 8th session, and Dr. Shantanu Ghosh of Tripura Medical College, he will deliver his lecture, an interesting topic, that cyber addiction and insight. And a brief introduction about Dr. Ghosh. After MBBS, he did MD in psychiatry and then obtained PhD in psychology. At present, he is working as associate professor of psychiatry in Tripura Medical College. And also, he published a large number of papers in the field of addiction and general psychiatry. And he is now working on operational trainer in Tripura for National Drug Use Survey in collaboration with AIIMS New Delhi and Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India. And also presently he is doing fellowship in JSS Medical College, Mysore, in psychosexual medicine. And now I am now requesting Dr. Ghosh to start his presentation on cyber addiction and insight. Thank you, sir.
Namaskar. Am I audible?
Okay. You are audible, sir.
At the outset, I should thank Arshad sir and the organizer of this program who has given me the opportunity to speak on such a good platform. So I have chosen a topic which is very much a burning issue, you can say, in the days of pandemic. Sir, should I share my slide?
Yes.
Yes, you share.
I think sharing has some problem.
No, it's coming. Please wait.
Is my slides visible?
It is coming. Not yet visible. Go to the slide presentation mode.
Yeah, have gone to slide share mode. Is it visible? Sir, is it visible?
Only white page. Your first page is white.
No. It's still working. Please wait.
Still working.
I see, you can see a circle at the bottom of your screen, still it moving. So it's working. Maybe your system is a bit slow, but it will come.
I have sent you the bandwidth. It is at around 10 megabyte per second.
No, this is okay. Sir, network is okay because we can see your video very clear.
Okay.
Your
Probably-
in your end, your PPT is opened clearly.
Yes, it's being shared. Let me cancel, then again I'll share so that.
Yeah, that's, you can try. You can try. Network is okay because we can see the video very clear.
Okay, now it gone.
Oh, it came, but you can sell. So again, you please share. It will come.
Yeah, I think it's visible
Yes,
now.
it comes. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Should I start?
Okay.
Sorry for a technical glitch. The topic which I chose, which is very much pertinent in the pandemic period. So why I am saying so? Either we are continuing our works from home, or our children are attending their classes from home. So every now and then we are being very much busy with the gadgets. Now round the clock we are doing this or that over the computer or over the phone. So it is being seen that it has got a very poor impact on our social health and mental health. Being psychiatrist, and I do have affinity towards addiction psychiatry, I chose this topic. And again, this is my PhD topic also. Few lines on the introduction. The use of internet and its accessory services have become part and parcel of everyday life. Everybody know about these things. Emerging data, however, suggests that excessive use of internet is fraught with dangers of negative influences on host of daily life and activities, sometimes leading to state resembling to addiction to various substances. That means this internet addiction or cyber addiction is some way it is being comparable with substance addiction. Few lines on what is cyber addiction. When we call the clinical entity, when we label the case to a case of cyber addiction, when a person has a compulsive need to spend a great deal of time on the internet. Now, what is compulsive? Which is irresistible. Without that particular person doesn't have control over use of internet, to the point where other areas of life such as relationship, means relationship between husband wife, relationship between siblings, relation between friends, peer groups, and also the working atmosphere, which are supposed to be separate. The person become dependent on using the internet and needs to spend more and more time online to achieve the same high. Suppose you are taking one peg of alcohol. Now, after taking alcohol, what will you get? You will get, you'll get the kick. That means the dreamy state or the feel good effect will come. Now, gradually spending more and more time over the internet, we are indulging in such a way that we are getting pleasure out of doing this. This is the range of behavior that can be referred as cyber addiction. Now, what are the range of behaviors? I'll discuss. I'm using internet. Now, at this moment, I'm presenting over internet and you are attending this lecture over internet. Does it mean that you are dependent? No. What merely use of internet cannot make you or cannot label you as an addicted person towards internet. There are some criteria. These are comparable to substance dependence or substance addiction, and this is as per few guidelines by WHO. Now, for substance dependence, World Health Organization in the year 1992 has given few criteria. Now, same criteria is being applicable to this internet addiction. Now, what are those criteria? I'll read out few criteria or few symptoms or few signs. If 3 or more symptoms are present on that particular person, then we'll label the case to be a addict person or dependent person. Now, what those criteria? Number one, there is a strong desire or sense of compulsion to use internet. You cannot stop of your own. By hook or crook, you cannot stop. That means the desire is such strong that you cannot stop it. You will be indulging in using the internet. Number two criteria, difficulty in controlling compulsive internet use behavior. Suppose your friend asks you, around the clock, what is your average hours of internet use? You say, hardly 30 minutes. Practically, you are using 4 hours. Say, for example. Now, this is a behavior you always want to hide from others. So, you will do something to hide these things. Number three criteria is there is a psychological withdrawal state. Not here, it's some technical error is there. What is the psychological withdrawal state? Suppose by any reason today you are not able to use the internet. Suppose the internet is not working, or there is load shedding, or due to law and order situation, internet being switched off from the authority, then there is a discomfort will occur in your mind. You will find difficulty in concentrating your works. It will appear as if something is absent from your life. Then number four criteria is evidence of tolerance. What is tolerance? In psychiatry, tolerance means gradually increasing the amount or duration of internet use to get the same high. Suppose, if I give one example, suppose after taking 2 pegs of alcohol, you are being, suppose a particular person, after taking 2 pegs of alcohol, he gets the full high. That means he becomes drunk. Now in the year 2021, this is 2 pegs is saturation value for him. Now down the line, suppose in the year 2025, 2 peg won't be enough. Probably he will be using full 180 ml or full 375 ml of alcohol to get the same kick or same high. Same thing, same concept is applicable in the field of internet addiction. Here is, suppose initially the person is using, suppose 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour. Nowadays 6 hours at a stage he is using the internet to get the same kick. Number 5 criteria is progressive neglect of alternative pleasure. Now, what are some pleasurable activities? Suppose you were you are spending fruitful time with your family members, with your daughter or son, with your wife. You are going for movie. Of course, it is not possible in the time of pandemic. Suppose earlier you used to enjoy watching movie, or you used to enjoy roaming with your friends, or gossiping with your friends, or watching TV. But nowadays you are not at all enjoying other activities, other field of pleasure apart from your using the internet. Number 6 criteria, persisting with the internet use despite clear evidence of overtly harmful consequences. You know that due to the use of internet, there is conflict between you and your wife. There is conflict between you and your children. There is conflict in your work atmosphere, in your office, even though you are not able to stop the internet use. Now, out of these 6 criteria, if 3 or more than 3 is present, then we will label the case to be a case of internet addiction patient. He's a patient of internet addiction disorder or internet dependent. Now, what is the prevalence? Prevalence means in a given period, what is the total old case and new case. So different countries has done the studies on the prevalence of internet addiction. It ranges from 13.7% to 6.7% in different population like US population, Asian population, South Korean population. I have included in the review literature, I have included only few of them. Now, why it occurs? The reason behind it. Practically, the actual cause is unknown, but some hypotheses and also some scientific evidences are there, which says that the compulsive use of internet probably is due to personality issue. You might have come across your friends or your batchmates or your neighbors who are aloof, who doesn't mingle with others, who doesn't have any friend. In our language, they are called schizoid or schizotypal personality. Now, if a person doesn't have any friend or whom he can share his mind, with whom he can gossip, then what he will do to get pleasure or to spend or to kill time, he will use the internet. That means virtually he will look for friends. Shyness, practically in normal day-to-day life, he is very much shy and timid. His self-esteem is so low that in front of other person he cannot talk or he cannot speak. But over the internet, in the virtual field, he is very much active, and in doing so, he is getting pleasure out of that. Next cause is biochemical response. See, when we get any pleasure, suppose you have reached your target in your office, in your occupation. So what your organization will give you? They will give you reward, or your boss will just tap your shoulder. Yes, very good. So that is appreciation. Then suppose if you do a very good thing at your home, your wife will give you good words, or your children will utter very soothing sentences. These good activities will give you pleasure. Now in the brain, what happens to get pleasure? When you get pleasure, a neurotransmitter, a chemical substance in your brain, which is called dopamine, which is released from our brain. Now this dopamine is responsible for further activities which will enhance these good words, this positive reward. So every time you will do the good thing, the dopamine will release in your brain. Similarly, while using internet, suppose you are using internet for whatever reason, for social networking, for any reason, for chatting, for pornography, for business, for any hell activities, your brain get pleasure. Now, while you get pleasure, dopamine is released from your brain and it gives you a sense of gratification. Next cause may be escapism. Suppose there is conflict with your wife. You do not know at what time the lockdown will start or which are shops which are open as of now. So all of a sudden, whom to ask? You will search on the internet. Now this will give you instant gratification. I have given you just one example. It's for n number of activities in our day-to-day life. So whatever queries, whatever questions comes to your mind, all of a sudden you search on the Google. So this gives you instant gratification. These all four are the 5 reasons. Maybe probably they are the cause for this internet addiction. Now, what are the risk factors for this cyber addiction? I have tried to include the different studies or researches which says or which opines that the risk factors like males are the male are more prone to get internet addiction or cyber addiction. College going students, the youngs, personally characteristic. Just few minutes back, I said that schizoid or schizotypal or aloof person, they are more likely to get indulged in internet activities. Then family factors. While disturbed family problem, lot many family problems are there. You are not able to solve those. So in order to escape from the real-time situation, you are spending time on the internet. So these are the few risk factors for cyber addiction. Now, what is the cause or why you for what reason we are using? Suppose there are some broad headings like cyber game, online gaming, then cyber relationship addiction. Suppose in matrimonial side or different social networking side, we are looking for relationship things. Then cyber sexual addiction, specifically I mean for pornography and other things. Then cyber gambling or online shopping. So a person may be addicted to one or more than one of these types of internet addiction. Now coming to self-itis. Now it's a new addition to dictionary. What is self-itis? Selfie, you know, from the word selfie, the word self-itis has come. Now what is self-itis? Obsessive compulsive desire to take photos of oneself and post them on social media as a way to make up for the lack of self-esteem and to fill a gap in intimacy. This is a definition given in Diagnostic and Statistical Manual by American Psychiatric Association. Now, American Psychiatric Association said that there are 3 types of self-itis. Again, they said that beyond normalcy, self-itis is a disease. It's a problem. Now, what are the different types? First is the acute self-itis. Means taking photos of oneself at least 3 times a day and posting such of the photos on social media. That means at least 3 times. As soon as they take photographs, they will upload it on the Facebook, Twitter, whatever social network they are using. Sir, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, please carry on.
Next, chronic self-itis. What is this? Uncontrollable urge to take photos of oneself round the clock, 24/7. He or she is taking photographs and posting the photos on the social media more than 6 times a day. In acute cases, it is up to 3 times, and in chronic self-itis more than 6. Now, what is borderline self-itis? It says the APS says taking photos of oneself at least 3 times a day, but not posting them on the social media. That means they are taking photographs, but they are not at all posting it on the Facebook. That is called the borderline self-itis. Now, what are the comorbidities? Comorbidities means if you consider this as a disease, what are the other diseases which a person has? Generally, it is being seen that if a person is addicted to internet, very easily they will have substance use disorder. What are those? Suppose I am using internet at the same time I am smoking, or I am using internet at the same time I am taking a sip of alcohol. So it is a very confounding factor. In our language, it is one of the comorbidity. Depression is a usual phenomena along with cyber addiction, but in severe depression they are not able to use the internet also. ADHD means attention deficit hyperkinetic disorder. You might have come across a kid who is very much restless. He cannot concentrate on studies. he cannot concentrate on a particular game, or he is not sticking to a particular TV channel while watching the TV. So what he does, he changes or he shifts from one channel to other channel. That means whatever activities he is doing, he becomes restless and he cannot sustain his concentration over the period of time. So cyber addicted person generally has ADHD, personality disorder. Few minutes back I said schizoid and schizotypal personality disorder are commonly associated with cyber addiction. Other related disorder, like while using the internet, you are taking burger, you are taking hot dog. So junk food taking and other addictive behaviors are very common along with this cyber addiction. What may be the consequences? Why we are discussing this is, you know everything, but why you are discussing these things? If we can quantify or we can realize the problem in our day-to-day life, probably we will restrict ourselves, or we can use internet in need basis on only when it is absolutely needed. First is poor academic performance. I'm giving one example. In my college, morning class starts from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So initial days, I have seen that the attendance in the morning class is very poor. Now, what may be the factors? Why the students are not coming in the morning class? Then I was hostel warden also. Then I could find that most of the students are using computer or playing games over the night, and they go to bed uh, early morning. That's why they are not able to get up for attending morning class. Then I came across one article in Times of India that IIT Delhi, they have stopped the campus Wi-Fi at 12 in the night, and they again switch on it at 5 a.m. in the morning. Now, why they do so? Again, in their college, the morning class attendance is very poor because the students are very much using internet over the night. They watches movie and they plays game. That's why they are not attending classes. So they stopped the campus Wi-Fi. The similar activity the similar thing was being done by IIT Madras also. Then relationship problem. Have you ever noticed that you and your family members has gone to, suppose in a restaurant, you have gone for a family dinner. Now you are watching your mobile phone. Your wife is also scrolling the Facebook page, and your daughter is also on the mobile phone. So they are not at all discussing or gossiping among them, although they have gone for a recreation, for a fruitful time, spending time along with the family members. So every day indulging in these activities leads to relationship problem. Then decrease productivity. Just now I have said that if the students have got poor academic performance, their productivity will go down. In the office also, if a person spends time over the night, and that's the next morning when you go to office, definitely he will be dozing or he will be sleepy. Then few related physical complications may be there, like dry eyes or computer vision syndrome, blurred vision, sleep deprivation, fatigue or musculoskeletal discomfort, pain in the head and neck region. So these are the consequences of internet use. You know that too much of anything is bad. Ultimately, everything will put into our poor health. Now, I want to say, what are the warning signs? At what point of time you will become cautious? Ask yourself, do you feel preoccupied with the internet? That means think about previous online activity or anticipate next online session. Number 2, do you feel restless, moody, depressed or irritable when attempting to cut down or stop the internet use? Suppose I have given example, due to law and order situation, the internet is being switched off from the authority. So a very restless situation occurs. You don't know, you don't know what to do and what not. So if at all these symptoms is coming, it is an warning sign. Number three is, do you stay online longer than originally intended? Suppose you need to send one mail or two mails, or you check your mailbox. Does it need too much time? Hardly 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But you won't realize when you have completed your work and then you are shifted to Facebook or some other online activity, you will never realize. That's why you ask yourself, do you stay online longer than originally intended? Number four, have you jeopardized or risked the loss of significant relationship? That means your conflict with your wife, conflict with your children, then job problems, educational or career opportunity because of this internet. Have you lied to your family members or your doctors about that, or you have concealed the total duration of your internet use? Also ask yourself, do you use the internet as a way of escaping from the problems of relieving or dysphoric mood? Dysphoric means low feeling mood. That means feelings of helplessness, guilt, anxiety, depression. To ask yourself, if at all these things are present in you, please take a professional help. You need to come out from this situation. Otherwise, your relationship will hamper, your profession will hamper, your family will be hampered. Coming to some recovery strategies. Till now, I have discussed the problem scenario. Now I want to discuss how to get rid of, if you are addicted to internet, what are the strategies you will acquire to go out of this addiction. First is recognize what you are missing. Earlier, you used to spend good time with your wife, good time with your children. You used to spend in the living room, you watch TV with your other family members. Suppose earlier you used to have a very 6 to 8 hours normal uninterrupted sleep. Nowadays, you are not having a good sound sleep. You are not at all having time for your friends. You never gossip with your friends or never call them. Earlier, you were a very much, very you are such a person that who used to go to the gym or do exercise daily, or you used to art, used to have good time, or suppose listening to music. Nowadays you are not at all enjoying this, or not at all you do not have time for these activities. So number one criteria is recognize what you are missing. Number two, assess your online time. Now spending time, you are on the internet, what exactly you are doing? You ask yourself how many mails you have sent, or how many mails that is there in your inbox you have checked, or you try to assess what online activities you have done, or how many hours you spend on chat box. Now how can you do that? Suppose from dawn to dusk you are scrolling your mobile phone, or you are on your laptop, but how can you realize that end of the day? So to quantify that, there are some apps which are freely available on the Play Store. You can download that. uh, what you have done over your phone or in your computer, end of the day, this app will give you the total calculation that today you have sent 10 mails, today you have checked 20 mails, today you have spent on Facebook for 3 hours. So in this way, try to assess your online activities. Then use your time management technique, like cultivate an alternate activity. If you suddenly stop internet, definitely a distress, a bad discomfort will occur in your mind. So you need to channelize your mind so that you do not become a bored, you do not feel boredom. So what to do? Earlier, suppose you used to enjoy Kishore Kumar song, or used to enjoy Nochiketa song. So you should recultivate that, so that suddenly you have stopped internet. It shouldn't uh, give you discomfort. That's why you are channelizing your mind. Then identify users pattern. Just now I have said all these things. Then find external stoppers. Whenever you are doing anything, you know that this is not at all good for you. So two thought will come to your mind at any given point of time. So that will create a conflict. One part of your mind will say, no, I'll spend 10 minutes. Let me check the mailbox, or let me, today morning I have uploaded one photographs. Let me check how many likes and how many comments has come. So these are your one part of mind will push you towards the internet. Another part of your mind will think, will come to your mind. Another thought will come to your mind that will say that no, stop internet, because it is not absolutely indicated at this moment to switch on the computer or scroll or browse the Google. So this thought will stop you or prevent you in using internet. So you need to find out these external stoppers and try to recultivate that. Incorporate plan internet time in your weekly schedule. Suppose after 10 in the night, I won't use the phone until a call from outside comes. If there is a call, then only I'll pick the phone. Otherwise, I won't touch the phone. So if we can incorporate this such BEB in our day-to-day life also, we can, it is very helpful. Then find support in the real world. If at all there is problem, you discuss with your wife, you discuss with your friends, so that you can get at least mental support from your spouse. Suppose you spend time while your daughter is or son is studying, you spend time with them. You also read with them. In doing so, you will be spending time with your son and daughter in their education. You will participate in your in their curriculum rather than spending time over the internet. Recognize your addictive triggers. What makes you or what pushes you towards browsing? You try to find out, and if possible, try to avoid them. Then carry positive reminder cards. See, when we are indulging any sort of addictive things, we stop all other activities rather than and continue of or pleasurable things, and ultimately there is no the work which you are supposed to complete or do, you ultimately end of the day you are not able to do that or complete it. So there will be procrastination phenomenon. That means end of the week you are not able to discharge your services which are supposed to do. So if you if you carry a card, and as soon as you complete that, you reaches that target, you just give a tick mark. End of the day, you try to assess how many jobs left behind, or which is being left for the next day. So if you do in such a way, definitely you will less tend to spend time on internet. Take concrete step to address problems. Suppose if at all there is marital disharmony, try to resolve this. See, if at all disharmony is there and you are escaping from that, gradually the problem will enhance. It don't go away. So spending or escaping from the real life situation, ultimately you are inviting more and more problems. Listen to voice of denial. That's just now I said that two school of or two opposite thoughts will come to your mind. Now the thought which will prevent you in using the internet, try to enhance them or try to inculcate them, which will prevent you in using the internet. Comfort your loneliness. When you are alone, you do not have any amenities to spend time. Give comfort like watching TV or listening to Kishore Kumar, Lata Mangeshkar music, which makes you, a sense of good feeling that you are, even though you are alone at your home, you are at least psychologically not alone. So, I have till now I have discussed how to get rid of this problem. Now, as these things are very much a psychological process or mental activity, so how you can find out the recovery sign, or when you will realize that no, you are able to leave that. You stick to your schedule of internet use and don't eclipse your targeted number of total hours online each week. Suppose you have given 30 minutes per day or 1 hour per day in the internet, so you must stick to this 1 hour. It shouldn't be more than 1 hour 10 minutes, so you should stick to your 1 hour schedule per day. Your partner, parent or other loved one tells you they see the difference in your internet habits and your behavior towards them. Earlier, you didn't have any time for your family members. Nowadays, your mother is saying that it's very good to see that you are spending good times with us. Your daughter is saying that, Baba, you are playing with us. So this is very soothing things. You keep a strict accounting of money you spend for the online services, fees, and stay within your budget. Suppose you are very much active in Flipkart or Amazon or whatever site. If you restrict yourself in using internet, you'll see that end of the month, still money is left behind in your bank account. You perform work tasks, if he is a student, school assignment or college assignment or household chores in a timely fashion that closely resembles your pattern before turning to active internet use. Suppose due to use of internet, you become very lazy, or you never finishes your activity, so or task. So nowadays you are seeing that gradually you are shifting to your pre-morbid condition, or the days you are returning back to the days when you were not at all addict to internet. You discover those favorite hobbies and activities you used to enjoy. So you experience greater energy in communicating with those directly in front of you than to strangers on the net. So the person is very much timid or shy in talking to others. Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Arshad, sir.
Yes, sir. You carry on.
Yeah. I think that this is a little boring thing, but this is practical problem which we are discussing. You feel a greater desire to go out of your loved ones. Suppose you want to have a candlelight dinner with your wife. Once when you were before marriage, you used to go to your candlelight dinner, but from decades you are not at all going, or years after years, even on your marriage anniversary, you are not going for a dinner. So nowadays your wife will say that, wow, a great change is a noticeable change is there in you, that you are spending time, or you are taking your wife to candlelight dinner. You look back at your time of addiction to internet and different person from a different time. Everybody will become astonished to see that this will always be there in our mind. So last 45 minutes, what are the take-home message? please put your attention here. What the take message? Cyber addiction is now gradually become a public health problem. That's why I took this topic for my PhD research. Number 2 is leave the dancing line. For example, only 30 minutes a day on gaming, 30 minutes a day in social network. If it is more than that, it will be harmful phenomena. Number 3, get support from family and friends to stay connected with the real world. It's not that you might have 5,000 friends on Facebook, but you do not know the person next to your home. So the virtual friend will not help you when you will be in problem. Suppose in pandemic time, when you need emergency help, when you need medical help, those virtual friends won't come. Your neighbors will come and help you. Face up the problem and seek professional help. If at all there is disharmony, there is a problem, you take professional help. If at all there is addiction, you take consultation from a doctor. So the basic objective of my presentation was to make all you aware about the ill effects of internet. What is the last sentence? Towards addiction, just say no. Just say no. Thank you. I'll be very happy. I'll be very happy if I can answer your questions. Thank you for your patience hearing.
Okay, Dr. Ghosh, thank you very much for your very nice lecture. I am now requesting for, if you have any question, you may ask. Please see, Dr. Ghosh, please see the chat box.
Yes.
If there is any question, you'll get it.
Durgesh Singh, Research College, Department of Agriculture. Interesting and very useful in the busy life.
A very good presentation.
Sir, really,
Excellent.
it is very interesting. Thank you. I'll be very happy if I can answer your any queries.
If you have any question, you may ask, or you may also give it in the chat box.
Yes, sir.
One question, sir. Addiction of online attending conference, webinar, FTP, etc.
What can you say about the addiction of online? Okay. Now tell me, in the initial days of lockdown, suppose on the first lockdown, this webinar was a very much new experience for us. So everybody wanted to join. Now, as of today, you ask yourself, nowadays, isn't it you are very much preoccupied or you are very much fatigued with these activities? I want a clear confession. So, whatever webinar, CME, FTP, whatever thing, these are for our self-growth. We know that. But every day, every alternate day, we are attending such classes. So it is not if you are not enjoying, then it don't give you addiction. But why we are doing? Because these things are for our self-growth, for our knowledge, so that we can learn something and ultimately we can apply this knowledge towards our students or the society. So I don't think that this activities webinar conference is an addictive thing.
Okay, sir. One
Next,
question.
writing habits decrease internet addiction. Yes, it is a good thing. If you write earlier, used to write letters. Nowadays, nobody write letters. Everybody sends a WhatsApp message or SMS. So yes, it's a really good thing. If we can write, definitely it will decrease our craving for internet. Yes, how to handle the kids nicely? It is very burning problem. we should restrict the screen time for our children. At certain point of time, we are helpless because our children's schools are through internet only. So we cannot stop that or we cannot do anything on that. From that, please try to reduce or decrease the screen activities. Now, how we will do this? Suppose in their curriculum or in their day-to-day educational program, you participate. Suppose I'm having my daughter. I will give her some task. What are the tasks which she definitely which she enjoys? Suppose I ask her draw this painting. So if she is enjoying that painting, you have noticed, you realize that 2 hours are spent and she's drawing or she's painting. So what will happen? These 2 hours you will be away from the internet. Suppose you can play quiz with your son or daughter. Definitely they should also enjoy this. So in that way you can push them away from the internet. Also some activities of Flinto Box. I can remember one brand, Flinto Box, although this is not a platform to name some brand, but even though what I did once upon a time, I bought Flinto Box for my daughter. It's a very good thing. I've seen that there are many activities are there. Now indulging in those activities, my daughter really in those days she used to spend away from the mobile phone. So this is very important phenomenon. So what is that? What is the intention? You need to send your children away from the internet. Definitely whatever is possible. Is there any time limit for internet use in a day? The answer is there is no specific answer. If you are using beyond you actually need it, then it might cause problem. Suppose your job is such that you need to spend, you need to always be online, then it is a different thing. But your work activity has been completed even though you are using internet, then it will create problem. So there is no specific figure that 4 or 5 hours. It should be individualized to each and every person. If you are using more, you will be using you will be inviting harmful consequences for you. Next one question: what to do if the tasks are not being done if he is an adult 18 years of age? Rather than shouting at us, if we tell you to stop playing mobile game, Free Fire, okay, PUBG, Free Fire, this activity, these games are there. For that, some behavioral therapies are needed. For that, some counselings are needed. And here, the role of medicines are very limited. Definitely, you should consult one counselor who will definitely enhance your motivation. That is, the counselor will provide you motivation enhancement therapy, thereby pushing your children away from the internet. Now 18 years is a grown-up man or a lady, so in that aspect everything with shouting you cannot do all these things. In that case you have to handle the case with emotion. That's why you need professional help from a counselor. One question: can online classes make children addicted to internet? Class will not cause addiction. Now, while attending classes, they will be chatting or they will be in the Facebook or playing games. That will cause addiction, not the class. Sir, anything? Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello. Is there any more
Yes, sir.
question? Hello.
I think I have answered almost all the questions. If
Okay,
any
yes, sir.
question is left behind, please pin me.
How to get rid of children from mobile game? Another question.
Yes. Yes. If you can bring something more enjoyable than mobile phone, your child will not use the mobile phone. That's why what you need to do, you need to do something more pleasurable. That means suppose you are in at this moment, suppose you are work from home. So you are busy in internet, you are busy in your laptop, your wife is busy in the laptop. What your daughter is doing? After the online class, she is playing games. Now, to get rid of that problem, what you should do, if at all possible, you spend fruitful time with your children. Spending fruitful time is not that you are sitting in the same room and doing your activities and he or she will do their activities. Spending fruitful time means playing with them. Suppose playing the carom, playing the ludo, playing quiz. So these things do indulge in these activities which are really helpful for their future growth. I think in doing so, gradually you will be able to stop their mobile phone use. Any question? I'll be very much happy to get your feedback, how you dislike my lecture.
Okay, sir. No, it's a very nice lecture.
I need
We
honest
also know-
confession.
okay, we also know a lot of things about this. Okay, sir. If there is no more question, then thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your nice and inspiring lecture. We
Thank you, sir.
know a
Thank
lot
you.
of it. Okay, sir. Thank you then. Okay, and Ashad, Ritunabhu, you may now conclude the session. Hello.
Okay, sir. Arshad sir is on another assignment.
Okay, okay.
So,
You just conclude the session then.
yeah. Here we are concluding the session. Thank you, Dr. Ghosh. It was a very nice lecture. Thank you for being with us. And participants, I'm just sending you the feedback link right now, and bear with us within a minute. Dr. Ghosh, you can leave the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.